The records are now open. Come on in, everybody. Let's get going with Akashic Answers with Emily. Doggone it. Apollo snuck in my office, and I know better than to do shows with animals in here. He's chilling right now, right here. Hopefully he stays chill. Apollo is my kitty, for any of you guys. Well, he's like, what is going on? Hi, Kiki. I love you. Lay down and be a good kitty, okay? Welcome, everyone. If this is the first time you are joining in, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Emily Harrison. I am the founder and director of the Akashic Academy, and I have the friggin' awesome job of certifying lightworkers across the globe in understanding how to read their own Akashic records, how to heal, how to transform, how to experience dynamic self-love. Because the Akashic Records hold our divine blueprint, the most perfect essence of who we are, standing in our highest potential. All of that is available to us within the space of the records, not only under higher level understanding of why our life has played out the way it has. I promise you, when you learn to see it from this higher level, everything makes sense. Everything becomes your teacher. And we actually have this physical body that we have has the ability to heal itself. And we need to learn what that means, because we need to heal ourselves emotionally. We need to heal our thought processes. We need to heal our bodies. And we need to learn how to create from a different space. So many of us, the baseline resonance that's going on within your being is not peaceful. It is not neutral. We tend to get irritated. We have all of these like impulses that are difficult and uncomfortable to manage in our body. So they come out through our behavior, through our responses to things. When we can learn how to manage our own internal energy, guys, your world gets so, I love using this word. Your world becomes malleable, meaning that you can move it. It becomes a flexible fabric. And that becomes a huge tool for us when we are re-emerging, we're restructuring, recreating ourselves in this idea of the new earth, where we're all standing in our highest potentials and in a state of collaboration and harmony with each other. So that is why I'm so passionate about the Akashic Records. It requires our intuition, our intuitive skills to be able to access and get information. These intuitive skills, by the way, are muscles that every single one of you can work out. You can work out those psychic muscles. You can strengthen your relationship with your guides, your beings, with Source, with the Ascended Masters. And I am very privileged to show people how to do that. My goal, my purpose is to be happy. We talk about that a lot, purpose and mission. Purpose, we just want to show up and be happy. My mission, my mission is to help people unfold their highest potential. And it's just so easy and fun to do with the space of the Akashic Records. I want to invite you guys to share this out. I'm going to do a quick little sharing out. Here's how it's going to work. The Akashic Records hold all information, past, present, and future. Okay, this information is recorded from a neutral space. Not neutral how we normally think of neutral, unless you've been doing this metaphysical work for a while. Because normally you think of neutral as like, Neutral is the most powerful space ever. Think about scientifically breaking apart the neutron, right? So we really want to understand neutrality. Neutrality, that even space, that even line, that's unconditional love and zero judgment. That's the jumping off point. That's the neutrality that we get within the space of the Akashic Records. So when you learn to see yourself from this space of unconditional love and zero judgment, the expansion that begins to happen, the way that you can learn to love yourself and understand what's going on with your expansion in a more dynamic way, the more you can participate, the more you can co-create. And the records give us that space for quantum level ascension. So if you're looking to go to get on the road to your own healing, your own self-love, and stepping into your own gifts and skills and abilities, this is a beautiful way to get that going. I'm going to share with one more group here, and then we are going to dive in. So what I do is I invite you guys to ask your questions, okay? So get those questions rolling in. You can ask questions about anything. Yes or no questions aren't the best questions to ask within this space because there's just so much more that we can get into. And time questions, like how long until I meet my perfect love? It's not a time like 6 months. It's a time like when certain energetic elements line up. So if you ask timeline questions, just know that that's likely how the information will come through. And I'm going to allow Spirit to draw me to the question that I'm going to answer for that individual person. I'll tune into that person's records. However, if the message resonates with you, it is for you too. So receive it. Anyone out there who resonates with anything that comes through today, open to receive it. Not only am I going to be bringing through insight, but I'm also going to be bringing through a transmissional message. I always love saying that. I'm going to be bringing through a transmission that will energetically allow us to receive healing, upgrades, activations, whatever it is that's associated with the topic coming in. So I'm going to dive in right now. I am going to start looking for questions. So I hope you guys have started asking. Apollo's being good so far. So far, so far. Oh, all right. All right. First question I see popping up. Gabby Cooper says, what can I do to help me strengthen my gifts? Oh, Molly, you got a good question too. Okay. I like both of you ladies' questions. Got the questions rolling in. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. And guys, please know that sometimes when I'm scrolling on my phone, I don't necessarily see all the questions, but I try to go back and communicate with you guys afterwards. So, okay. Okay, so Gabby Cooper and Paul are Sifu Bogi here and wants to know also, what is the best way for me to step forward and supercharge others? I'm actually asking for a change. Awesome. You are asking for a change. I'm going to give you guys some answers. Okay. So for anybody who wants to step forward with their gifts, their skills, and supercharge people, Gabby, first of all, I'm going to tune in for you, Gabby. Hands-on healing, Reiki, sending energy from your hands is coming forward really strong for you right now. Also, Gabby, coming through is there is a protocol within you that hasn't necessarily been created or used yet. So it's based on your experience and you getting to know this process by experiencing it, by just like playing with it, right? By just getting to know it by using it. And you just really have to step out to do that. This is a huge state. This is a huge point for a lot of people. Oh man, I almost kicked my water over. I got excited. What happens is I begin to recognize patterns of how we're growing. Hi, Brooke. And how we're expanding as light workers. It's similar to the hero's journey. You've heard of the hero's journey, right? Where they map out what the hero's journey looks like. This is the light worker's journey. You will get to a point where you're going to be called to energetically interact with something new that you don't necessarily know a lot about yet. And there's not going to really be anybody who can give you the information because it's designed to come through you. So that's why you have to show up and be willing to play with the energy. What I do for people is I help to support their energy frequency and give them the tools to get access to any information that they need, the answers to any questions that they need, and to know how to use that. It doesn't mean that becomes that person's modality. It's meant to be married with that person's modality. So, when you're diving in and you're beginning to start really seeking, like Gabby, what do I do with this energy? That you have this guidance, because we are on the cusp of so much experiential learning and bringing in of new knowledges and technologies. And we think really advanced. Like I use Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla and Steve Jobs a lot as an example. But you know what, dude, if you make up some healing modality where you do something special and you get your energy all going with your hands and you scoop some shit out of somebody's heart that's been in there for a while. I always recommend, if you're doing energy healing work on anybody though, implant everything that you do with the awareness that they will see and understand why they're creating that. Otherwise, they'll just create it again. Okay? So it's really important that the knowledge of that understanding underneath be infused. But you guys are dynamic enough healers, you know that, right? But creating new spiritual technologies does not mean like creating a manifesting AFO machine. It means using your body, using your experience, and using your knowledge as it comes through you in that dynamic way that you use to start helping other people. So Gabby, for you, that's the biggest step that I see for you right now in terms of what will expand you is getting in and playing with the energy. And you got to give yourself that permission to play and explore and learn and trust what you're learning. What's up, Jasmine? I'm glad you're here. Hi, Eleanor. Okay, so my Sifu. Let's see what your Akashic Records have to say. All right, this is interesting for you too. Boge, you got a little hands-on energy as well, but what they're showing me is third eye activations that is a touch or a hands-on process with the people that you're working with one-on-one. And again, it's like, you know how I said with Gabby, like you're warming up your hands and you're doing all, like whatever the process or protocol is that you create to bring that chi forward with the intention of opening the third eye and activating those superpowers. Okay, so play with that one. You too. These are just broad strokes of how this stuff works. They're not going to give me a whole lot more than that because this is the process for each one of these individuals and each one of you, if you're resonating with this, to get in and start experiencing the energy. We're getting to the jumping off point as light workers where we got to stop just taking in this knowledge and learning it and knowing it. We got to start applying it and playing with it and expanding it by using it experientially. And I know for a fact that Bogey's already doing that. You know, this is his life work. You guys know he shows up here at the Akashic Academy. He's doing this work. But even those of us who have already crossed over and are like, hey, I'm here on the scene. This is my job. I'm an energy healer. We still perfect and progress our own process. So when you see somebody like Sifu showing up and being like, what's the next step for me? What's the next step for me? That's somebody you want to hang out with. All right, I'm just saying. Just saying. Okay, anybody who would like to receive energy now to begin that process. And this isn't just about activating gifts and skills and abilities. This is only for those of you guys, and I'm just going to tell you now, this one ain't for everybody. But it's for everybody who's ready to receive it. But because this is a co-creative, this particular transmission that's coming in, you really have to be willing to show up and to participate in this energy. Okay, so this is for people who are ready to start practicing with the intuitive modalities that they don't quite fully understand all of how it works yet, so that you can begin to experience and know. Okay? So anybody who is ready to receive that, and again, like I said, this one requires your full participation and co-creation. So only say yes and receive this. Don't buy me, Pablo. If you're ready to show up and you want that empowerment to start interacting with your own intuition more dynamically. Say yes. All of you guys who are receiving this, say yes. Physicalize that yes. Mean it. I mean it. Good job. Got some more joining in. What's up, Caitlin? And Danielle and Kathy is here and Hilda's here. Okay, I'm going to go in after another question. Will you guys please type in your question, say hello, like Kay says hello when she comes in. And Entity Jade is here. Welcome. Kelly is here. Awesome. She's repeating her question. Yep, just do that. If you want to copy and repeat a question because I didn't see it before, go for it. We guys share out. That's what I was going to say. While I'm scrolling through looking for another question, support the mission, support the expansion by sharing out. Mama, my mama's in the house. Mama dance. Okay, mama. All right, let's grab some more questions here. Oh, I see all you guys. Yes, receiving this, receiving this, receiving this. All right, Sandra Vaz. Why nothing ever work out in my life? I love this question because it allows me to talk about story. And this has been coming up so strong for me everywhere. Why nothing ever worked out in my life. It's just the story. Actually, everything has worked out in our life. I was listening to Martin Nichols earlier, and I think I'm not exactly sure where he was broadcasting, but I saw him and I popped in. And he was talking specifically about understanding this vocabulary, life code. And when I think about code, like I start getting scientific, I start seeing like all the numbers coming into place. When you begin to understand everything is frequency and that everything that you have experienced is a component to this code that is unfolding or releasing or activating or allowing you to access the highest levels of multidimensionality that are available for you, then we begin to untangle ourselves from the story that it's been shitty our whole life. This, if you believe that you have had a shitty life, well, that right there, changing that story, rewriting the Akash, actually rewriting and shifting your memory and your perspective around what has happened to you, this is dynamic healing. And if you are holding any regret, any frustration, and by the way, if you're holding it on a subconscious level, one, I just want to really thank, I skip talking and I'm so sorry, I forget whose name I'm talking to. But Vaz is coming up, but I don't think it's Vaz. Yes, Sandra Vaz, yes. Yeah, it's kind of right. You can't, at least there's admitting it and being like, I'm owning it. The hardest part is if you are truly bent about your life and you haven't fully forgiven and you think that you have, because those underlying subconscious energies, you can't outrun them. They're going to play out. They're going to outrun you because they're running on the background of everything, all of the energy that is coming from you. Isn't that right, Paulo? So changing the story, because you haven't changed the story yet. That's the easiest answer to why nothing in your life has gone right, is because you haven't changed the story around it yet. And when we feel like nothing is going right, when we're in that rigid place, that's a low density vibration, there's not much flexibility in that space. Okay, so we have to get neutral, we have to get malleable. And for those of you guys who feel really rooted and justified in your story, I'm going to send it through right now. Anybody who wants to truly neutralize their story and learn to see every situation. My friend Martin used the word your life code and how your life code adds up. I use this vocabulary. I say learning to see everything as your teacher. Because as soon as you see everything as your teacher and you know what you're supposed to learn from a situation, then your whole perspective changes and there's total, so damn hard to concentrate with this lion attacking me. Palo Wallow. Yeah, let me get back centered for you guys. This happened to me earlier today. My washing machine went off and threw me off. So here's what I do, for any of you guys who are readers out there, and if this ever happens to you, like sometimes you get pulled out of the moment, we simply go back into the moment. Well, this is how I do it. I go back and I'll just say another Om. With this Om, I release my ego. Ego is anything that identifies ourselves as separate from source. So with this Om, I release my ego. Yeah, good. So anytime that we recognize that we've been pulled out like that, just give yourself that moment to go back in. Okay. My vocabulary specifically that I use is learning to see every situation as my teacher. And when you do that, when you get really, really soft with yourself, you begin to be able to rewrite that story. Here's other cool vocabulary that I like to use. Rewriting your Akash. When we think of our Akashic Records, we think of, everything is written in there. Yes, everything is written. All future possibilities are also written in that space.
There are ways that we can learn how to raise our frequency to a high enough vibration where we can interact with that space, in relationship with that space, and actually program and align, rewrite the aspects of what we want to experience in this life. So, but that requires high level stuff. Now, I know you guys can do it, but it starts with rewriting your current story. This is how you get really, really good at it. So many of us are trying to write our story, like, right, to write our future, to write this big dynamic plan and this vision and get it out and get it going. But you haven't gotten good at rewriting your past shit yet. You're still holding all your past shit. You didn't get an A in writing for rewriting that shit. So what do you think you're going to get an A in writing for and writing your new stuff? You have to start at this step of rewriting your story. You have to fall in love with your life and see the beauty that it has created. You have to be able to understand from this dynamic, to have the energetic, the alchemic skills to create anything else in your life. Okay? So if that's your jumping off point, fine. I don't care where your jumping off point is. Learning how to get better at this is something that we all need to do. I've really appreciated actually this particular conversation, because I've got a lot of information myself that's come in, new insights that have come in for me. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in some transmissional energy right now. Anybody who is ready to get totally neutral about your story and rewrite it, you cannot write yourself as the victim in the story. Okay? Receiving. Anybody who's ready to receive this energy, to rewrite your story, to rewrite your Akash, say yes. So I can still feel the energy buzzing in my forehead, so I'm just going to keep sending it through until it all comes through. Okay. Ah, nice. Okay, going in for more questions now. Oh, Rhonda, I love that one. When we change the way we look at things, things change. Oh, Angela Grant. Okay, I see that your question is kind of spanning a little bit here. Are you going to get your son back on track? You're going to spend the night with him and your grandkids. How do I say the right energy in speaking to get through to him? I can feel your energy. I can feel your love for him. I just need to sit in that for a second, because I'm a mama too, and I can deeply feel that pain within you. Whew. Okay, first thing, super duper important, and this is a tough one as mamas. I'm going to just own it, because one of the spaces where I still get really triggered is don't fuck with my kids, pardon my French. And sometimes it's not even someone else messing with my kids, it's my kids being for whatever reason, they've been down, or they've been sad, or they've been whatever. Like when your kids are going through times when they need realignment, it's so hard as a mama. And as a dad too, I'm sure. Okay. Big thing coming in to remember, and this is with anybody, it's really important that you believe in their ability to transcend this, that you believe in the hero aspect, you believe in his power, you believe in his strength, you believe in his fortitude, his ability to be soft, his ability to learn. You reinforce and set energy when you're in the house, open vortexes of love and support and compassion. I don't see a whole lot of verbal exchange. I see most of it being energetic work. I also see, Angela, you doing a lot of communication with his higher self, and really holding space that the expansion. And yes, I feel you guys. Thank you for all of you guys who are holding space right now for Angela and her family as they're going through this. Talking a lot with his higher self and encouraging and holding that space for the perfect, peaceful and most graceful unfolding and realigning to happen. Okay, let me see what else is coming in. The children are very important right now. I don't know, like with my kids, and I recognize that we're super open, and it's very easy to talk about emotional and energetic dynamics with my kids and helping them to create space for, here, just like a simple example. We had friends come into town to visit from our hometown, and my daughter wanted to introduce her old best friend who had come to visit to her new best friend who lives here. And so we just talked about what it takes for her to show up and energetically create and support a space where that melding can happen beautifully. Because a lot of times you'll start seeing like teaming, and it can get weird. And you can mean for it to be really well, but it can get weird. So for my kids, it's very easy for me to talk about how to create that kind of energetic dynamic. I don't know if you have that space or that relationship, Angela, with the kids. If you do, this is where I would recommend talking in the physical. If not, talk to their higher self as well, but let them know, because they're very powerful very powerful beings, light beings in that space, that to just, just hold space for dad and love him. My husband's gone through some crankiness. So he's actually doing really good right now, but he's gone through a big transition, and he's been in his life where he's been not as, I'm going to say not emotionally stable, but I don't mean like that. I just mean like he comes in stressed, tense. The kids are like, what's wrong with dad? That one. And I'm just explaining, what, he's moving through this. So just love him. Don't get triggered. Don't get pissed that he's in this space. Yes, sometimes I say the P word to my kids. Potty mouth. All right, so anybody who would like to just receive energetic support and knowledge, here's what I want to bring in, Angela. I want to bring in our Akashic Records, we have ascended masters, our loved ones, our teachers, and guides, spirit, angels, guides, those kind of beings. Teachers are light beings that are lesson specific, that come to show up to help us move through particular situations. So Angela, they're also inviting you to call in a light being teacher. There's a light being teacher already available for you for this, but go ahead and again, remember how this relationship thing's coming up in a pattern. Remember how we talked about in the beginning, diving in and allowing your own intuitive unfolding to happen through your experiential relationship with the new energy. You're being invited to experience this with a light being teacher who's coming forward to help bring you the perfect insight married with the perfect, okay, so remember how we talked about creating your own modalities? Please follow your intuition as you're moving through that house, shooting energy, creating vortexes, loving things, whatever you feel, I want you to follow it. They want you to follow it. I'm just here to support you while you're following it. So anybody who would like to receive a light being teacher here to help them move through a lesson of their own ascension right now through the holiday. This is the holiday teacher. This is your Thanksgiving Day teacher coming for you guys, all right? Anybody who'd like to call in their Thanksgiving light being teacher to help just bring special acute awareness to all the ways that we can see our patterns more dynamically, shift them, help others shift as well. If you want a personal one-on-one light being mentor coming to you for Thanksgiving, say yes right now, receiving that. And knowing that this being will be able to communicate with you through your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, pictures in your mind, thoughts that you hear, your clairvoyance, audience, cognizance, all of those things, and allow you to have deeper insight and hold more dynamic peace as we move through the holidays. Good job. Alrighty, everybody. Oh, it's 12:30. I gotta run because Robin McClendon is up next. We've got a whole beautiful lineup for you guys today. This is only the tip of the iceberg in terms of how the Akashic Records begin to expand us. When you dive into reading and healing sessions, there's so much wisdom that comes in, so many opportunities to shift and heal. It actually was a timeline shifter in my life. My mom bought me an Akashic Record reading as a gift, and from that point on, things began to unfold so much differently in my life. You guys can learn how to do this too. This is a spiritual technology that's available to help us all advance and stand in our highest gifts and skills. So I want to invite you guys, if you resonate with this work, you can do it. Reach out to me. I'll be happy to schedule a time to chat with you guys and share more. And have a great Thanksgiving. Thankful for you all. Namaste.